Hello, welcome to the news on NTA International. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Ronke Kolawole. The headlines come first.
It is a healthcare facility, the likes of which the country needs.
President Buhari commissions state-of-the-art medical facility in Abuja to provide free services to the poor and marginalized. Nigerian security printing and minting company to start the production and personalization of all Nigerian e-passports and related documents. Plus, Nigeria marks 3rd African Anti-Corruption Day with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission organizing a lecture on the theme of the celebration. We are glad you are here with us on NTA International. A state-of-the-art medical facility to provide free services to 60% of its patients, comprising the poor and the marginalized, has been inaugurated in Abuja, the nation's capital. It is the Tulsi Chanrai Foundation Eye Hospital. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, commended the Chanrai family and the foundation for contributing generously to the health and well-being of the Nigerian people. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The 54-bed capacity facility, which commenced operations in January this year, has since provided eye services to over 6,400 patients and performed over 1,000 surgeries, 850 of them free of charge. The hospital has the capacity to perform 15,000 surgeries annually.
It is a healthcare facility, the likes of which the country needs.
President Muhammadu Buhari appreciated all concerned for the sacrifices made in the provision of the state-of-the-art facility to provide services that were neither available in the country nor affordable to majority of those in need.
I am very pleased to note their contribution to check and prevent avoidable blindness by restoring vision of more than 120,000 Nigerians, free of charge. These services will now be enhanced with this state-of-the-art hospital in the heart of Nigeria. Let me say again that I am very pleased to recognize the tremendous efforts and sacrifice of all concerned in the provision of such quality primary health care available, accessible, and affordable to more than 3 million citizens.
The long-term investments and humanitarian services by the Chanrai family in the country since independence, President Buhari said, clearly demonstrates a commitment to the socio-economic development of Nigeria and better life for the less privileged.
Today, other than trading, this group is also engaged in industrial manufacturing with plants in various parts of the country, engaging in processing, adding value, and contributing to Nigerian industrial development. In addition, I am informed that the foundation is engaged in the rehabilitation of boreholes program across Nigeria, covering 32 states. So far, they have rehabilitated more than 7,000 boreholes, providing safe drinking water to more than 3 million Nigerians.
Both the chairman, Tulsi Chanrai Foundation, Mr. Jagdish Chanrai, and chairman of the board, Ahmed Joda, said the eye hospital is just the beginning of what they intend to do to give back to the Nigerian society for the hospitality enjoyed by the Chanrai family over the decades.
All our work is rooted in caring capitalism. I am honored to dedicate the TCF Eye Hospital to the people of Nigeria and pledge to do my best to further health care for this great nation.
The hospital being managed by Aravind Eye Care System of India will be largely operated by a Nigerian team of nearly 40 eye specialists trained in the Asian country. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Buhari has directed that the production and personalization of all Nigerian e-passports and related documents shall be the sole responsibility of the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, popularly known as the Mint. The company was established in 1963 with the objective of producing the nation's currency notes and coins for the Central Bank of Nigeria, as well as security documents for ministries, departments and agencies of government, banks, and other blue-chip companies. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, noted that with the new directive from the President, all existing memoranda of understanding and contracts on printing by other institutions or companies will not be renewed. The Mint is the largest banknote and security document specialist printing company in West Africa. However, its performance has rapidly dwindled in terms of both currency production and security documents prior 2014. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the President-elect of the United Nations General Assembly, Professor Tijani Mohamed Bande, to justify the confidence reposed in him by Nigerians and indeed the global community. This was while receiving the diplomat, who is also Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations. Details in our subsequent news. Nigeria has marked the third African Anti-Corruption Day with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission organizing a lecture on the theme for the 2019 celebration. The lecture, which was preceded by a walk to sensitize the public, attracted people from diverse backgrounds in line with African Union's wish to offer opportunity for the public and private sectors to join forces on how to combat corruption in the African continent. This concern noted that fighting corruption is a global concern that requires everybody's effort due to the fact that it affects the people without any difference. The theme towards a common African position on asset recovery, speakers say, make it incumbent on relevant authorities to focus on civil procedure on asset recovery and how to return it to the rightful countries. Also, civil society groups in Kano joined Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to celebrate the third Africa's Anti-Corruption Day with a roadwalk to sensitize the public on dangers of corruption and its adverse effects on the economy, which retard development. Howell Salis reports that participants at the roadwalk stressed the need for closer synergy between EFCC and relevant stakeholders in the fight against graft.
With a theme towards a common Africa position on asset recovery, the roadwalk in Kano attracted large turnout of people, among them religious clerics.
God is helping us as a nation to fight corruption. We have seen good cases of corruption that the commission is fighting, and we have also seen the other side where people are saying is lopsided.
According to Islamic perspective, yes, against corruption totally from anywhere it comes.
It is the belief of participants, which include relevant stakeholders in the ongoing fight against corruption, that only through collaboration that corruption can be tackled.
If they continue enlightening people, people will know what they are fighting for.
Kano Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission advocates strong synergy among Nigerians to support the commission in achieving its set goals.
Don't recover the assets, then the exercise is not complete. And also, some of these assets from what we have discovered are even outside the country. So there is need for collaboration both locally and internationally to ensure that people that are involved in corrupt practices do not benefit from the fruits of their crime.
The consensus among civil society groups in Kano is that people must stand up against corruption. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And to other issues now. Establishing clinics in government ministries, departments and agencies and equipping existing ones will go a long way in ensuring proximity of healthcare services to civil servants and reduce mortality rate. This was advocated at the quarterly Health and Fitness Awareness Campaign in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation in Abuja. Mitaire Ikpen has that report.
For Suleiman Yao, a deputy director in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, having medical checkup within his office complex is a huge relief, considering hectic work schedule.
This is presidency where the work is very rigorous. At times we stay here up to 8, 9 in the night. But still under that condition, with these facilities around, whenever we feel that we are not feeling okay, we rush to the clinic.
With the kind of work I have, it's just once in a month I can do that. But with the establishment of clinic here and those equipment, those health equipment they brought to help us improve our health. One can go once in a week. At least you take 1 hour, 2 hours to the clinic and you come back and resume your work.
The SGF Clinic's quarterly health awareness program is also to sensitize civil servants on the need for regular medical checkup and fitness exercise.
Do not be shy when it comes to your health. You say it the way you feel it.
Oftentimes they don't usually come because of their busy schedule, and that is the essence for us raising this awareness and sensitization program.
Government believes the best welfare package for its workers is to cater for their health in order to generate wealth. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
And to other news making the rounds, the Presidential Election Petitions Court has resumed hearing on the petition of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and its candidate, Atiku Abubakar, after a daybreak from the petition to attend to other petitions which are still at the pre-hearing stage. Dele Atumbi has that report.
The break afforded the 5-man Presidential Election Petition Court, led by Justice Mohamed Garba, to attend to the petitions of the Democratic Party and that of the People's Democratic Movement. At Thursday's hearing, the petitioners continued to call additional witnesses in support of their petition. At the last hearing, the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar have called 19 witnesses. The petitioners this Thursday called additional 9 witnesses, bringing to 28 all those that have witnessed before the court out of 400 proposed by the PDP and its candidate. All the witnesses were alleging overvoting, alteration of results, and non-usage of card reader in some circumstances. The witnesses who adopted their statements under oath as their evidence in chief were led in evidence by the counsel to the petitioners, Livy Uzogu, SAN. So far, some of the witnesses are local government coalition agents of the PDP during the presidential election. During cross-examination, counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Wale Olanipekun, SAN, Usman Ustaz, SAN for INEC, and Charles Edosowon, SAN for APC, put the witnesses to task on the allegation, which were criminal in nature. Counsel to the respondents also pushed it before the court that the witnesses relied on reports from party agents who are still alive but not brought to witness, thereby rendering the witnesses to be given a third-party evidence that is inadmissible in law. The petitioners are challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23 presidential election in 11 states in the North Central, Northeast, and Northwest geopolitical zones of the country. The PDP and its candidate have 10 days to call their witnesses. At this Thursday's hearing, National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, represented President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC, while Peter Obi stood in for the PDP and its candidate, who are the petitioners in this matter. The Presidential Election Petition Court adjourns further hearing in the matter to Friday, 12th July 2019. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
And still talking electoral matters, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress APC says it has received petitions from some stakeholders in Kogi State in reaction to indirect primaries adopted for the election of the party's candidate for the forthcoming governorship election in the state. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Larry Isaonilu, in a statement says the committee will look at the merit of the petitions in line with the party's constitution and come up with a position in due course. The party thanked the aggrieved APC stakeholders in Kogi State for the peaceful manner in which they have conducted themselves so far and assured all concerned that the NWC will be guided only by the party's rules. You're still watching the news on NTA International, reaching you live from Abuja. We'd like to go on commercial break now. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We now go straight to the National Assembly, where the Senate has received executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting the confirmation of Justice Tanko Muhammad as the Chief Justice of Nigeria and 15 special advisors to the President. The legislators at Thursday's plenary also commended President Buhari for signing the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Ignatius Nkwot tells us more on the trade agreement motion.
Well, after a long wait, Nigeria has signed the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. President Muhammadu Buhari signed the agreement at the 12th Extraordinary Summit of the African Union. And then 1 week after this agreement, the Senate has commended the President and urged the federal government to ensure that Nigeria expands its production sector so as not to allow this agreement make Nigeria a dumping ground. Senator Jibrin Barau moved that motion, which was extensively debated on the floor of the Senate. He's here to tell us more on the essence of that motion. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, let me commend Mr. President, as I made mention in my motion, that government should continue to make sure we have all these infrastructures put in place so that the cost of production of goods produced in Nigeria will be competitive globally. It's only through that we can fully benefit from this agreement.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Well, we still have Senator Buhari Abdul Fatai. He's here to tell us how do you feel about this motion and the signing of this agreement by the President?
Beautiful. Because which means Nigerians have come of age. If you look at the mover of the motion, when he said it in the body of the motion that the president initially refused, this now set up a technical committee to review the pros and the cons of the treaty, and eventually we found out that the advantage we are going to have is more than the disadvantage, which means Nigeria have come of age. Though there is a fear that Nigeria may become a dumping ground, but the issue has been taken care of. When you make your own product very competitive, it is better because it will generate more employment.
All right, thank you very much.
Very much. I'm very grateful.
All right. Okay, all right. Well, the Senate also resolved to invite the management of the Nigerian Communications Commission over the issue of inefficient service by communication companies, especially in the cases of call drops and interruption of calls. This is what we have for you from the Red Chamber at the moment.
Thank you, Ignatius Nkwot, reporting from the National Assembly there. Reducing the cost of governance, amendment of the Electoral Act, and the need to have more women participation in the legislature are some of the prospects for consideration on the legislative agenda of the 9th National Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Omotola Omojola reports that the committee stated this at a meeting with stakeholders on the legislative agenda setting.
A legislative framework at the start of an assembly is said to be imperative for building an effective legislature that meets the yearnings of citizens in good governance. This informed the decision by the Senate Committee on Legislative Agenda to engage stakeholders to start the process. Some of the submissions at the meeting bother on police reforms, constitutional amendment, devolution of power to states, and reform in the judiciary to restore public confidence, among other issues.
Being able to capture a process of sharing information on the budget of the National Assembly so that this would be very clear and transparent to Nigerians. A lot of times Nigerians offer opinions on the funding of the National Assembly in ways that sometimes is not too well informed.
We believe that the National Assembly can be able to help to reduce the cost of governance in Nigeria by eliminating duplication, waste, and ensuring that they do things in a manner that it will help save Nigeria and prioritize investment on the Nigerian people.
Distinguished colleagues, I think we have to thank Mr. Clement Nwoko very well for his far-reaching presentation. It has really added a lot to what we have, even though a number of these have been included in the ninth Senate agenda, but others that have not been included will also be included.
The legislative agenda, which started during the 6th Assembly, has become a norm in the National Assembly. From the National Assembly, Omotola Omojola, NTA News.
To your other issues now, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is playing a pivotal role towards the full actualization of the economic recovery and growth plan of the federal government. The effort received the commendation of the peer review mechanism team when it visited the Treasury House to ascertain the compliance level of the office as it affects service delivery to Nigerians. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports.
Records show that in 2018, 207 billion naira savings was made by the federal government from the civil service through the curbing of multiple accounts using the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, as a tool. Led by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, the team is in the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation for idea and experience sharing among ministries, departments and agencies to consolidate on the reforms of the change agenda.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Presenting his scorecard, the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, said his office has assisted in the improvement of revenue collection mechanism through e-collection.
We shall continue to make you proud in the discharge of our onerous responsibilities of entrenching transparency and accountability.
Ethic culture being canvassed by the head of the civil service of the Federation is indeed here to stay.
Representatives of labor unions took advantage of the visit to express concerns on the need for harmonization of professional qualifications and upgrade of staff. And the Permanent Secretary, Service Policies and Strategies Office, Magdalene Ajani, was directed to see to the issues. The team was then conducted round the server room, staff clinic and e-library.
By the time we conclude the mop-up on the HR module verification, we are going to find a much huger savings that will arise for government.
Forensic accountability and asset tracking management system are other initiatives introduced by the present administration. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Still talking government issues, ministries, departments and agencies are to abide by Executive Order 3 in the procurement of textile materials and uniform of personnel. Consequently, the Central Bank of Nigeria is providing incentives towards reviving the dilapidated textile industries in the country. Musa Babaliu reports.
Even though 70% of Nigeria's larger textile industries have gone comatose, there are a number of garments, lint and ginneries that are still in good shape and operational. But lack of patronage is now a threat to their existence, especially the garment industries. Folakia Oyemede says she laid off more than 500 of her staff due to lack of work.
And when I say lack of patronage, I would say lack of patronage predominantly from government institutions.
Just like Folakia, many operators in the garment and textile industries presented their challenges at this meeting with the central bank officials. Military and paramilitary officials were also at the meeting to explain the source of their uniform materials.
Since 2015, the Show Minister has ensured that all our uniform requirements are sourced locally.
Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele says he has been directed to go tough on firms that engage in smuggling of textile materials and urge NDAs to obey the Executive Order 3.
It's not about whether I want to produce to export. Let's even produce for our own market. Let us produce to create jobs in our own country so that the level of unemployment, the level of youth restiveness can come down.
The federal government, through the central bank, included cotton in the Anchor Borrowers program as part of efforts to boost textile production. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Time now to join Joyce Ometu for trending news from other parts of the globe.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has added 2 cancer drugs to its 2019 essential medicine list, despite oncologists calling for less toxic therapies for the disease. WHO says the 2 recently developed immunotherapies have delivered up to 50% survival rates for advanced melanoma, a cancer that until recently was incurable. The 5 cancer therapies the WHO added to the new medicine list are regarded as the best in terms of survival rates to treat melanoma, lung, blood, and prostate cancers. In other news, 9 traditional chiefs in Cameroon's northern region have been congratulated at a UN-organized ceremony after appointing 123 women to decision-making roles for their first time in their chiefdoms. It is hoped that the move will mean that those in authority will get to hear about the issues affecting women more quickly. Meanwhile, the Commission of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the People's Republic of China have on the 10th of July 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria, signed an implementation agreement for the realization of the Commission's new headquarters building. Signing the agreement at a brief ceremony on behalf of the ECOWAS Commission, the president of the Commission, Jean-Claude Cassebro, stated that the implementation agreement clarifies, among others, all that needs to be done through the various phases to the commissioning of the edifice. Joyce Ometu, NTA News.
Let's quickly go for Friday's weather check in Nigeria and other cities of the world. That's it on NTA International News. We thank you for staying. I am Ronke Kalawole.